YouTube, how you doing? I'm back with another review for Married at First Sight. We are still in season 3. This time we're on episode 6, and it is Meet the In-Laws, the name of the title of this episode. So they're getting to spend a little time with the families, with each other's families in some cases not so much. So the show starts off with Tre and Vanessa. It's kind of like the next morning from where they left off last week, and Tre is in the living room, I would say, and one of the camera people, production crew, I'm not exactly sure, ask him, do they consummate his marriage? He's just like a little kid in a candy store. He got this big old smile on his face, and he is like, yeah, we consummated our marriage. We consummated the out of our marriage. High five. I give myself a high five. I was like, boy, calm down. So in the confessionals, they asked Vanessa. Vanessa's like, yes, we consummated our marriage. She feels like sex is important, and that was one of the steps that they needed to take. So finally, one of the couples has consummated their marriage. Neil and Samantha. Samantha has called Dr. Pepper to come for a visit because she feels like there's a disconnect with Neil's lack of communication. She feels like Neil is one person in front of the camera and another person behind the camera. Another person behind the camera. And then she feels like he's PC in front of the camera and he's more raw and authentic behind the camera. The way Neil explains it is just like being respectful, in my opinion. He's like, well, he acts in front of the camera like how he would act in front of his grandmother. You know how some of us were raised where you didn't curse in front of your parents or your elders. You respected your elders. So in front of the camera, he does that. And behind the camera, he's a little bit more open, and she can't handle that. Samantha can't handle a lot of things, but next we go on to David and Ashley. They are preparing for Father's Day. David is asking Ashley what she's planning on doing for Father's Day. She's real kind of nonchalant about her Father's Day because she doesn't really have a relationship with her father. Her Mark, or I cannot remember that man's name, to save my life, has stepped in, but it's kind of not like a big deal for her. Where on David, the other hand, it's one of the hardest days of the year for him because his dad has passed away. He idolizes his dad and idolizes his parents' marriage, so he feels like there's something missing. And me being that both of my parents are gone, I really do relate to David. So some holidays I feel fine, I'm good, I'm interacting. Some holidays I feel indifferent, I feel sad, I feel weepy. So it's one of those things, and Ashley can't connect to it, which she did say that, you know, unless you've gone through these things, it's kind of hard to connect to, which is true. But we all know how Ashley is, and she just kind of doesn't seem to care sometimes. Next, we have Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper gets to come and visit. Dr. Pepper first goes to visit Neil and Samantha. Neil and Samantha, she asks them about their views on marriage. Samantha feels like the gender roles, that she needs somebody to pretty much boss her around and tell her what to do, which to me, that's not really great. And Neil feels like more of a 50-50, a partnership kind of marriage. They also talked to Dr. Pepper about their blowout and how she has, how he felt like she emasculated him and how she felt like he was just too nonchalant and non-caring. So in the end, Dr. Pepper asked them how committed they are to this process. Neil's like he's 100% committed. He's in it to win it. And Samantha is like, I feel indifferent, which kind of gave Dr. Pepper a stunned look on her face. But, watching the show, that was probably a typical Samantha response. So she gave them some homework, as they always do in these shows, and hopefully they have a better outlook. They go back to Tre and Vanessa. It is kind of like the next day, and Tre has to go to work, and Vanessa is going to get the house together. Her sister comes over and they're talking about the marriage. They're talking about Father's Day because Tre's dad and uncle are going to come over, and that they just moved into the house and it's kind of weird. The girls don't have a relationship with their father, so it's going to be kind of weird because they don't really kind of celebrate Father's Day. But Vanessa's really open to it, to spend time with her father-in-law and, be a hostess and everything. So they go to David and Ashley. David, Ashley, and Belle, they're in the bed. They're having a conversation. They're kind of getting ready to go to sleep. It looks like a really cute scene. They were talking about how the dog takes up most of the bed and they don't get that much of the bed. And then it rolls around to the next morning, which just so happens to be Father's Day. Ashley is like, she sees that there's something wrong with David. So I guess she tries to ask him, and David just kind of blows up. Because she asked him what's wrong. He was like, it's Father's Day and my dad's not here. And he storms off and goes in the bathroom and he's crying. And the look on her face will probably be the look on my face too. It's just like, what just happened? We just woke up. But she gets it together and she comforts him and consoles him and, tries to make it better for him and try to be a confidant, which a wife should be, which made him feel really good because, they have so much disconnect in their marriage. David's mom is coming over for Father's Day. She brings some home movies and they're watching the movies and Ashley's getting to see the movies. And Ashley confessing that she ruined everything that she did for David for me because she was like, it's just a lot of movies and it's really like overwhelming and I don't know what to do. And I'm like, watch the movies, enjoy it with the people, help them do what they need to do. But this is Ashley, y'all. This is Ashley. So with David and Ashley, they get a chance to, Ashley and David's mom get a chance to take Belle for a walk, and she gets to tell her about the breakdown that he had for that morning, and the mom sympathizes and tells her, yeah, David has a hard time dealing with it. We all miss his dad, but it seems like he misses him a little bit more, but it was good that you were there for them. David and Ashley have a better bond than David and Ashley themselves, which is kind of crazy because I think when it's all said and done, they're still going to have that relationship to a certain extent. In my foreseeable future for David and Ashley, I don't see them staying together, but we will see. They briefly go to Tre and Vanessa's for Father's Day. Tre's sister, he says sister-in-law, so I'm not sure if the sister is a lesbian, but who cares? His uncle and his dad come over. Vanessa and her sister are there. I can't remember seeing her mom there, but they're having a good time. They're eating, they're grilling. Vanessa gets to spend a little time with Tre's dad. Tre gets to spend a little time with Vanessa's sister, and then they all kind of go and part ways. Neil and Samantha's dad are hanging out. They go to the gun range. Neil looks really, really, really uncomfortable at the gun range. It's like it's something that he's just doing to spend time with his father-in-law. But amazingly enough, he had really good aim on his target, but it's just something that he seemed really, really uncomfortable with. Sam's dad did tell him about some of the conversations that he had with Samantha, and that he would like to see him step up and be a little bit more assertive in the process. He really likes Neil, and Neil took his constructive criticism very well. Neil brings the dad back, and Samantha is waiting for them. I guess Neil has something to do because he says, call me, text me, let me know if you guys need anything. So Samantha and her dad get a chance to spend time, and he gives Samantha advice also. She says it's unbiased opinion. I find it hard to believe when it's your parent, but he did do his best to try to be unbiased. Neil comes back and they barbecue. Samantha's dad gives Neil a few pointers in barbecue. Samantha's kind of tries to steal Neil's shine a little bit by saying thank you both. And Samantha's dad gives it back to Neil, and he says, I didn't have to give him that many points. He kind of already knew what he was doing. So that was that. Tre and Vanessa, they get a chance. Tre and Vanessa, they kind of had a little falling out because when Tre got home, I guess he passed out because he got really, really drunk out with his dad and his uncle. And when Vanessa came back, she didn't like that. And Vanessa started going into her insecurities. This is the one little thing that I don't like Vanessa. Vanessa has a lot of insecurities, and when they are threatened, she kind of shuts down like an iron curtain. But anyway, so she was very upset that, he was that drunk, and, she was like, what if something had happened to her? She couldn't call on him. So when Dr. Pepper came with that to visit them, that was one of the things that they brought up to her about one of the things about not getting along. But she gave them some assignments to work on that to help them through that. But all in all, she was liking the progress of how they were going. So Ashley also got a visit from Dr. Pepper. She asked about their physical intimacy. They hadn't consummated their marriage. They don't kiss. They don't really hold hands. And that was really concerning to her. David wanted to plan a party so he can show off his new wife to all his friends. She is more standoffish about it. She's just like, I don't want 10 or 15 people, or I can't invite any of my people because I don't want that big people. So Dr. Pepper gives them the assignment to do small intimate parties, and then at the end of the 6 weeks have a large party if that's what they stay together. And pretty much their celebration is staying together. But I don't see them staying together either. But they could be another Doug and Jamie, so who knows. So that was Married at First Sight. This review was a little bit different because I watched the show and I made notes, and I just gave you guys a quick synopsis of it because I feel like my videos are a little bit long. But thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, share, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.